So while it's raining outside, I figured I might as well take this time to start disassembling the power center. This is a Magnetek Power Plus, original equipment with the camper. Don't know a whole lot about it other than it will keep your battery charged while it's plugged in, while the camper's plugged into AC power, and it'll charge going down the road. And there's also your AC for anything that runs off of AC. You've got a few circuits here. This is your DC side. Somebody had added one for 10 amp LP. I'm not sure what LP is. And then USB, which is right here. I know that works. We did use that. This one I'll have to think about. I'm not sure what that will go to. Well, I'll figure that out and I'll report back. At any rate, so my plan now is to start taking this out. I've got my new one right here, and I've just measured the opening. Looks like a perfect fit. They designed it exactly for this replacement, so it doesn't look too bad. I've done some electrical before, so I'm not too worried about getting it done. I do have some instructions that came with it, but not real. They're really not a step-by-step type of thing, I guess you'd say. So I'm just going to go ahead and do like I always do and just start taking it apart and see what happens. What could possibly go wrong? That's a heavy unit right there. Alright, so after playing with this thing for a little while, I think I got it figured out how I'm going to get this in there. I'm going to wire my positive from the outlet to my 30 amp, and that will distribute my power to the rest of them. I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and start wiring it up. I got it cleaned out back here, and get this put in. Alright, next day. So yesterday I started working on installing new power center. That's the old one right there. So as I was saying, I was installing this. I started installing this yesterday, and I had this pretty much all installed, all wired. Everything was pretty much ready to go, but it was getting late at night. It was closing in on 8, 9 o'clock at night, and it was getting dark. I couldn't see, and I ended up just walking away from it, figuring I'd get some sleep and come back and look at it today. I did come back this morning, and I ended up ripping it out, trying to figure out what may have been the issue with it not working. I think pretty simple, and it was one of those where it had been a long day, and if I had just left it alone, I probably would have figured it out. Yesterday when I was working on it, I was just kind of trying to knock it out real quick, and wasn't real happy with the way the wiring was coming out anyway, and I didn't really have a chance to identify what all the wires were individually. At any rate, that's where I'm at now. I think I've got a good handle on exactly how this is going to work. We're going to find out real quick. There's no really, the instructions don't really tell you anything about how to wire. This is pretty much, it tells you what the unit is, and I'm assuming part of that is they don't want liability if you wire something wrong or get injured. You know, if you don't feel comfortable playing with this stuff, you should probably have a licensed electrician or shop do it. I do have some knowledge and background in electrical, and I'm not at all leery about tackling this project in terms of putting it in and modifying what I need to get it to work. So that's what I'm doing. This is not necessarily a DIY. This is pretty much how I did it. But I think I've got it all figured out, and I verified that it does work this morning. And now I'm going to go about identifying the rest of the wires so I know what's what. I'm going to tag everything. I've been looking around for any kind of instructions on the internet as far as wiring diagrams. I have not had any luck. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and start tracing these wires out, marking them, and then I'm going to go ahead and start getting this put back in, and hopefully we'll get it figured out. So basically, since I didn't get a wiring schematic with this camper when I bought it, obviously it's a 97, so I don't even know what came with it originally. Probably not much, if anything. I'm just going to make myself a little schematic so I know in the future if I have problems. This is going to kind of help me out. Okay, so I've hooked up the second circuit, just temporarily again. I'm just touching the wires to verify everything's working before I connect it permanently. And I'll have the right connectors on here. Alright, so I've got these marked. Now I knew this one was for this USB charger right here. I've got that one marked. I'm going to set that one aside. I've also taped all my negatives together just to get them out of the way temporarily. I'm going to connect these up obviously to the block in here, but for now I just want them out of my way. I've got my circuits marked, circuit 1 and 2 for the lights I just showed you. Now, alright, so I pulled the switch out for the water pump. This is the on-off switch for the water pump. And I see there's a purple and a blue. And I know the purple comes back to the water pump over here, which tells me obviously power has to go up to the switch and then back to the pump. So all I do to verify that's right is I have the switch on, and I've got the blue wire right here. And all I'm going to do is just to verify that is in fact the pump, is I'm just going to touch it briefly and listen for the pump to run. Just listen real close. Oh, there it is. All right, after several hours of just going over everything, I think I have everything ready to go back together now. I think that was just about it. I'm going to go ahead and slide this back in now. All right, I got it all in. And not bad. I'm no electrician, but I'd say that's about as good as you can get. Pretty tight working area. You got your chassis ground in the back there. You got to do all those before you can do these up front. And other than that, everything looks pretty good. I've got to put the fuses in, and I made myself a little diagram here of what's what. So now, a moment of truth. Let me hook up the positive and the negative. Alright, I've got my fuses in there, up here. So now we're gonna, moment of truth here, we're gonna try the DC. Hopefully it works. Here's one. Alright, so I have my campers plugged in to my power back to the garage. So I have it plugged in. I'm pulling 12.8485 volts DC out of the battery. And I'm about to turn on the main breaker. Alright, I got my breakers off. Got my battery connected. My voltage is down to 12.77 DC volts on my battery. And I'm going to flick the main breaker here and see if it starts charging. So the green is the 30 amp. Let's see what happens here. There it goes. It's charging. Battery charging. Woohoo! No breakers on. Everything looks good. Try the power one more time here. Should be really bright. we have a winner. All in all, fridge is working. Yep. On EC. And I know it is because if it wasn't, it would throw a code. So, yeah, battery's charging. It was down to 12.77. It's up to 13. I will shut this off for the night and leave it plugged in. And I'll come back and check it a little later. But I'm going to call it a day for now. Real happy with the progress. Got that done. That power center's in. And took out this old one right here. This is the WFCO, I believe. It was working fine, except I don't believe it was charging the battery. That was the issue, I think. Of course, I didn't verify that. The battery was pretty old, about, I don't know, 10, 15 years old, I think. It was probably junk anyway. That's just a battery I had here. I bought for my winch. It's a deep cycle, pretty good sized battery. But it'll be fine for what I'm doing. And I've got another one also. But yeah, pretty happy. So from there, I'm going to get everything cleaned up and just finish buttoning everything up. Probably tomorrow. We got another project to start on. I have to start making some tie downs for brackets, I should say, tie down brackets for the camper to go on the truck. And I purchased all the material for it. Well, I purchased some of the material I needed to build them. Hopefully that'll come out. We'll start those tomorrow. And that'll be the last piece of getting this camper tied down to the truck. So, pretty happy with the progress today. And hopefully this will help somebody. If anybody has any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Again, this is the Power Max PPC 30 amp. And I purchased this directly from the company. I'm not sponsored or anything from them. Just letting you know where I got it.